Well, spring has finally sprung here in Minnesota, and I am loving every second of it. It is just a beautiful day outside with a glorious view of the state capitol building here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And that is not our destination though today. Our destination today is a building we've visited a few times before on Tommy Travels, and that is this one right here, the Minnesota History Center. Time to take another return trip. Well, hello there, and welcome to a gorgeous day for an adventure here at the Minnesota History Museum. That's right, we've been here a time or two before, and we're checking it out again because they have a brand new exhibit called First Avenue. I know nothing about it, I haven't done any research on it, so we're gonna learn about it together. Welcome to another edition of Tommy Travels. It's Tommy Travels. This should be a fun adventure, you guys, so come on with me, let's go see what there is to see. Do you hear those bells? That's coming from the St. Paul Cathedral right there across the street. What a beautiful sound that is. So I was wondering if this was going to be about First Avenue, the street in general in Minneapolis, or First Avenue, the club, but it looks like it is First Avenue, the club, where Prince got his start, so this should be pretty interesting to check out. And so as we walk into the exhibit, we're greeted by a video of some of the bands that have performed here at First Avenue, as well as some of the old calendars from days gone by, where you can see different bands that performed here. Like, look at this one right out of the blue, Robert Palmer. Wow, pretty historic stuff all over this wall. Wow, look at this guy, pretty big pipes that he's sporting there. It's the gun show. His name is Richard Luca, and that is cashier Deb Tinnell at Uncle Sam's in 1977. And Richard Luca actually helped design First Avenue's logo. And so I'm learning that First Avenue was not always First Avenue. It originally started as the Depot in 1970. First guest at the Depot, Joe Cocker. Holy cow, that's a good get. And then it became Uncle Sam's for a while. And then from a depot to an empire, it finally became First Avenue. And that is a legend here in the Twin Cities. And look at this fancy outfit. It was worn by a keyboardist for a band called Hitchcock named Ken Larson. Pretty snazzy taste, my friend. Hitchcock was a cover band that was popular in the early 70s, from 73 to 75. And they've even got a remake of the 7th Street entry. And look at that, the Stars, the Cows, Johnny Thunders. It was a tiny room, big band. It says it looks like a rock room should. It looks lived in, puked in, and treehouse-like. Look at these guys, rocking out. And here is a look at the 7th Street entry green room. And then the biggest of three at First Avenue, just a place where artists can chill before or after going on stage and get in the zones, eat, hydrate, and do what they have to do. This one is decorated with photos from iconic shows and framed CDs of albums recorded at the venue. And then of course they've got a recreation of the green room right here with some leather couches and then some photographs and the CDs that they mentioned that are all framed and hanging on the wall. kind of a cool feeling. It makes you just want to kind of sit, take a seat, and chill out. Do whatever those artists did at the time. But look at this cool artwork. This is like its own little art gallery. Look at that. Humphreys McGee, First Avenue, Minneapolis. That is a beautiful work of art. And they even have a little Plinko game that you can play over here in the green room. Get to the gig. This is where you leave from, different locations, Seattle, Denver, your parents' basement, St. Louis, Chicago. We're gonna just go with St. Louis, I think, and you can just pick one of your chips right there. We're gonna leave from St. Louis and see where we wind up. So we'll drop that down. And it goes down, and we made it. Where did we make it to? Back to your parents' basement. Oh no. And this display is dedicated to 90s alternative rock. They have a lot of pictures of different bands like Run Westy Run performing, the Jayhawks, which were really popular in the 90s. And then there's this band, Cows. There they are performing on stage, and they were a very, very loud band. So loud that one of the band members who played the bugle had to be heard above his other bandmates, right? So he actually put two of them together with duct tape. That is a good, typical musician thing to do. Just make it work. That might be my favorite thing I've seen today. And this is actually a cash register used at First Avenue up until the 90s. Wow, this thing has gotten some use. And it says, there's a little saying right here, right there. It says, I want to eat your young. Very classy. And this is a drum head that's actually autographed by Soul Asylum. And this top one here says, drop out of school, the principle's a fool. Fourth graders rule. That's great. And this display has some t-shirts, Bad Bad hats, Transmission, Soul Asylum, and even Prince. And this wouldn't be an exhibit at all if this guy wasn't represented. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Prince. He is on the main room stage in 1981. And then they have his face on the background in this display, and the coolest thing, look at this. This is handwritten lyrics for I Hope We Work It Out from 1977. That is absolutely fascinating. Let's see if we can zoom in and get a little better closer look at it. There he is. He's got things scratched out, and it says I hope we work it out right on top. And if you are a big fan of Purple Rain, you know that this is the suit worn by Jelly Bean Johnson in 1984. Well, you guys, this has been an absolutely cool adventure here at the First Avenue exhibit at the Minnesota History Museum in St. Paul. And if you guys liked what you saw here today, go ahead and hit like on my YouTube channel. While you're at it, go ahead and hit subscribe and the little bell notification next to it so you can be the first to know when a new adventure comes out. And thank you guys so much for the support that you've given me so far. And until next time, I hope to catch you on the flip side.